Hello everyone, my name's Katie. Welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be testing out some makeup. The makeup that I'm going to be trying is from a brand called Makeup Obsession that you can get on Tam Beauty, and I also believe you can get some of their products in Boots as well. Recently they released a load of new products and I saw them and I wanted those products. They just looked up my street. So in this video I'm going to be trying out on my face all of the new products. Obviously there's not a makeup item for every single aspect of a full face, but what I do have I will be putting on my face right now. So I've got some concealers, I've got an eyeshadow palette, I've got a powder, a bronzer, a lip kit, and I've also got this big palette that's like got blush, bronzer and highlight in it. So I've got quite a lot of things to try out here and I'm really excited. So I'm just going to get straight in with it. I have done a concealer and a powder base on my eyes, which means we will be starting with eyeshadow. So one of their new releases is an eyeshadow palette, and this one's called Obsessive Eyes, and it comes in this like beautiful packaging, like that marble effect. Sorry, you can see my light's just going nuts over it, but how beautiful is this packaging? I tell you what, one little pet peeve of this is once you take off the little plastic thing, there's no like information about like what it's called on there, so you wouldn't really know anything about this. It doesn't bother me too much, but for people that like to kind of reference the things that they're using, that might be a bit annoying. But anyway, I saw this online and it just looked amazing and I had to get it. I mean, look at these colours, how beautiful is this palette? What stood out to me as well is that you've got quite a lot of like baked eyeshadows here, which you don't really see that a lot, especially in like palettes. Normally when there's like baked eyeshadows they tend to be like singles, but it's quite interesting that you've got lots of mattes and then you've got these nice baked shadows as well. This colour selection just is amazing. I just need this. I have to say for a drugstore palette it is quite pricey. It's £15 I believe, so it isn't the cheapest, but I mean when you look at it, it just looks good. I mean, I would compare this to some like high-end palettes just from first impressions. Obviously we'll have to see if the quality of the eyeshadows warrants that price. I've done a few swatches and they seem pretty pigmented, but I've not swatched a lot of them, so I'm going in pretty blind here. This is the part where I had to decide what kind of eyeshadow look I want because I've got a lot of colour options here. So this is probably going to be the usual case of me making things up as I go along. So let's start with something neutral. I'm going to go in with this very light brown colour. It's called Chauvinist. This one right here. Wait for my camera to focus on it. That one there. And I'm just going to start by bringing that one through the crease. As I said, I have put a bit of concealer and powder on my eyes before starting. Pretty good transition shade. Okay, I'm going to go in with this colour. It's kind of like a dark reddy browny colour. It's called Swish. This one right here. Hello, there you are. I'm going to bring that one kind of in my crease, kind of slightly under what I've done there. I'm thinking of doing a cut crease, I'm not sure, but I'm going to work on kind of the crease area first. Let's go in with this shade. Whoa, okay. Pigment is there, guys, it's there. That's some intense pigment there. Right. I think I want to go in with this even deeper red colour. It's called Rebound. I think this is one of the ones I swatched before. This one here, just wait for it to focus. Yeah, it's just a lot darker, richer kind of red colour. I think I'm kind of just going to go over the same area here. Oh my god, this looks amazingly pigmented. I think I'm just kind of slowly going under, maybe more in the outer third. I don't know. Okay, I want to go in with this matte black colour. It's called Blackmail. This one on the end here. Can't see what the hell I'm doing. There you go. This one here. And I'm going to pop that into the outer third just to kind of make some smoke. I'm going to get the matte white shade called Housewife at the top here. And I'm just going to bring this one under my brow bone. Okay, Okay, I do want to do a cut crease, but I have no idea what like shade I want to use because there's so many options here. And like the entire bottom row is kind of like where all the kind of glimmery shades and the baked shades are. And there's just so many options here and I don't know what to go for. Too much to choose. There's this kind of glimmery pink I like, and but there's also golds and coppers, and I just don't know. Okay, well I'm gonna do the cut crease and then I will use that time to think about what shade I want. I'm using the NYX Full Coverage Concealer and Alabaster just to do this, and I'm using a little Real Techniques detailer brush just to carve out the line. I'm not the best at cut creases, to be honest. I can never get my line super straight, but just, you know, bear with me. This is my janked up cut crease. You know what, we should use one of the baked shades. We should. I think I'm going to go in with the shade Provocative, which is, this on here, it's kind of like a quite deep coppery colour. As you can see, it's got that nice baked hue in it. So I'm not really 100% sure how this is going to turn out colour-wise, but shall we just go in with this colour? I think we should. Oh look, I've already smudged the concealer. Fabo. Let me just... Okay, I do like to just use my finger for this. One thing I've noticed with these is that the baked hue kind of disappears once you kind of get your finger or your brush or whatever in it. So I don't know how to feel about that. This is actually quite a deep colour. Okay, I mean, like, there's definitely some good pigment there. It's quite a dark colour. I don't know if this look is the best look, but you can see there's definitely some intense pigment, and it does have a kind of foiled effect, which I like. I'm going to get some of the deep red called Rebound again, just on my fluffy brush, and just ever so slightly kind of blend a little bit. Yeah, pretty cool. Just going to repeat the same thing on the other eye. I might go back in with the black shade just a bit and kind of, again, just add that to the outer third. I'm only just like kind of tapping on a little bit though. For some reason my eyeshadow is blending like good here and this eye is just having a terrible day. Okay, so I think that's enough of the eyeshadow for now. So they didn't release any new mascaras or eyeliners or anything like that, so I will just go off camera and put some liner in my waterlines and some mascara on my top lashes. See you in a sec. Okay, so my eyes are done. So we're going to move on to some base products now. So I'll talk you through the concealers first. So I picked up 4 of their concealers. So I got 3 of the Corrects. They're literally just called Correct. So I got the banana one, which is like a yellowy colour. I got the green one, which obviously is green. And I also got the white one. And then I also got the concealing wand, and this one's in the shade Light. This is just a standard concealer. And they basically have like all the product in this bit, and then they come out the little sponge, and you've got the little twisty applicator. So I think what I'll do first is I'll go in with the 2 colour correcting ones. So I've got the green and the yellow. Another product that I also got was their mixer. This is the whitening one, and I'm going to mix this in with the foundation. Obviously they don't have a foundation, so I will just use foundation that's a little bit dark with me so I can test out this white mixer. But first we will colour correct. So I'm just going to use some of this banana shade under my eyes. Seems quite thick. Okay, it blends out pretty well. Doesn't leave you like with a really intense yellow cast. It's got pretty decent coverage. I definitely can still see a little bit of purple coming through under there. I'd say this is better than the NYX yellow colour corrector, which I tried in my first impressions. It's definitely got more coverage than that one, and that one definitely leaves more of a yellow cast. But I'm not sure if it's got quite the level of coverage as the collection one that I really like. But I definitely do think this has got some coverage. Sitting on the skin nice, blends out really well. Really creamy formula, so I quite like that. So I'm going to try out the green one now. Just twist this up a bit. And I'm just going to pop this in all of the red areas of my face. which my skin is quite blotchy and spotty lately, so we need this. And I'll also pop a bit on my nose as well. Okay, again, this blends out pretty well. The next one definitely leaves more of a green cast than this one. I kind of like it to kind of blend into your skin a little bit more, so it doesn't have that huge green cast. It definitely has minimized the redness. Obviously, it's not gonna like erase everything, but I mean, obviously you're going on with products on top of it, so it's not supposed to. But it definitely has reduced the redness. Okay, I'm pretty happy with those colour correctors. I think they've done a good job. Obviously, we'll have to see what they look like with foundation on top. I need to find a foundation that's a little bit too dark so I can try out the white mixer. I think I'll go in with the Maybelline Super Stain True Ivory. It's a pretty pale colour, but I do find it's a little bit orangey and oxidizes on me, so a bit of white mixer would benefit this foundation. So this one actually has a little bit of like a pinky hue to it, but it is mostly white. Just squeeze it out. It does seem quite watery, but not like really runny. So like it doesn't like immediately like drip off your hand. That's what the shade looks like. Oh god. Yeah, it does have a little bit of a pinky hue. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the camera, but there's definitely a bit of a pink hue going there. And it's starting to fall off my hand because I put a bit too much on. So I'm going in with this Maybelline foundation and mixing them together in the back of my hand. So it definitely has lightened the foundation. I wouldn't say it's quite as pigmented as the LA Girl one, which I really like, but it definitely has worked at lightening it. So I'm just going to go in with this foundation now. Okay, so that's some foundation on. There's no weird cast from the colour correctors underneath, so that's good. I've now got the skin toned one in the shade light and the white one to try out. That's what the light shade looks like. It is pretty pale. I mean, not a bad colour. Don't know if it's 100% perfect, but we'll try it out. They don't have a very big colour range of these, unfortunately. I think there's like about 4 shades, maybe 5, so not the best colour range. But I'm just going to go ahead and go in with this concealer. I'll probably put some of it under my eyes, a bit on my nose and on my blemishes. Okay, I probably should have gone in with a lighter coverage foundation because it's kind of hard to see how the coverage of this concealer is because I already had pretty good coverage anyway. But the concealer's setting on the skin really nicely. The colour isn't too bad at all actually. I would say it has given some coverage, but again it's kind of hard to tell because it had a pretty good coverage base on in the first place. But I really like how it's sitting on the skin. It's not like clung to any weird areas, it just looks really fresh, natural, a little bit dewy almost. Good. I need to try it out with a slightly lighter coverage foundation to see the full effect of it, but satisfied. So obviously I've got the white concealer to try out as well, and I think I'll just kind of use this to highlight a few areas of my face. Why not? We've got it here. So again, I'm going under my eyes. I have a lot of product under my eyes right now. I'll kind of do my forehead, bring it down my nose, cupid's bow, chin, the usual highlight areas. My base might look a bit heavy because I am going in with a lot of products here, but I just really want to try them out, so. Again, blending out super nicely, and that definitely has left a nice bit of brightness under my eye there. Let's carry on blending. Okay, so again, blends out seamlessly, has given some nice brightness, but not to the extent where it's leaving this really harsh white cast that some white concealers can. It's just giving you that brightness. I feel like this would work really well if, like, say I'd gone in with a bit of a dark foundation or concealer and I just kind of wanted to lighten my face up a bit. I feel like that would be a good thing to use this for, and obviously I could use it to mix with concealers as well, but I'm actually really impressed with these concealers. I think they've done a really good job. I believe they're all like £6 each as well, so really affordable. So they did also come out with a setting powder. This is the Makeup Obsession Large Pressed Powder P102 White Finish Powder, and it's basically a white translucent powder. I think they had a banana one and a porcelain one as well, but I thought I'd play it safe and just go with the translucent one. Okay, so I'm just going in with my Gosh Mineral brush to do my under eyes, and then I'll use a big brush to do the rest of my face. Okay, so that's what the powder looks like. I will say it does look a little bit heavy under the eyes, but that's also kind of my own fault because I kind of put a bit too much on. But it definitely does a really good job at mattifying your face. It does have a little bit of a white cast, so I don't know how well this would work on deeper complexions because of that. I would just stress to go a little bit lighter with your hand when it comes to putting this on. Don't go nuts under your eyes like I've done because it does look a little bit heavy under there. But I mean, in terms of setting your face, it's a pretty decent powder. In terms of cheek products, I've got a lot of things to try out here. So the first thing I picked up was their large bronzer BZ101 in the shade Natural. And it's literally just a nice bronzer, quite a pale tone. It is a matte one as well, so I think this would work pretty good for me. Generally I prefer glowy bronzers, but occasionally a matte one's not bad. And I also have a really gorgeous palette. This is called Obsessive Lights. And it's got blush, highlighter and bronzer in it. Again, it's got that beautiful marble packaging that the eyeshadow palette has, but this one's obviously white. Also, it doesn't have the name written on it like the eyeshadow palette, so that might be a bit of a pet peeve for some people, but I don't mind too much. But yes, this palette is absolutely stunning. Again, this one was also £15, so it is a little bit pricey. But I mean, that is beautiful. Look at it, it's so nice. Obviously they're all kind of like baked ones as well. Skinny Dip and Just a Fling aren't actually baked, but the rest of them are. So the more I'm looking at this powder, I don't really like it. I don't know, it's just like, maybe it's my fault because I put too much on, but it's just, it looks really weird on my face. I'll try it again and put like less product on, but this powder is just looking a little bit weird to me. I'm going to go in with this bronzer first, might as well. Just using this big bronzer brush from B. So it seems quite pigmented. So just sweeping this through my cheek area. This has got some pigment to it, so be careful. Put a little bit up here and a little bit under there. I like the colour of it. I've got a little bit heavy-handed on this side though, so let me see if I can blend that. I mean, it's pretty good. Does what you want a bronzer to do. Warms up your face. I want to go in with this colour called Prenup. It's like a kind of goldy colour, and I'm also going to kind of use there we are. I'm going to use this one as a bit of a bronzer as well, just to kind of add some more glow into that area. Obviously, some of these shades would work as highlights on deep skin tones, but for me, obviously, they would be bronzers. So I'm just going to go in with Prenup. I'm going to use the same brush and just add a little bit of that to that area as well. It's got some nice radiance to it. I like it. Yeah, that's beautiful. I'm going to go in the shade Troublemaker, which is a more kind of blushy toned colour. This one here, obviously it's a beautiful baked blush as well. And I'm going to pop a little bit of that on my cheeks as a blush. Oh, it's so highlighty as well. I really like it. That'd probably be a really good highlighter in deeper complexions, but obviously for me it's a blush, but it's a beautiful glowy blush. I really like it. So far, so good. So I'd say that there are like 2 shades in here that would work as a highlight for me. I don't know, there's one called Smitten that may work, I'm not sure. So obviously you've got this shade called Skinny Dip up here, which is kind of standard whitey gold. Then the one down here called Seduction I feel would work for my skin tone because it is quite pale, but it's also got some gold flecks in it. And this one here I think would work. I'm not 100% sure, it might be a little bit dark, but it has got a nice pinky tone to it. Smitten here. I think this one would probably be too dark for me. Obviously, like, I'm sure loads of these would work on a wide array of different skin tones. I'm going to clean off my highlight brush so we're not putting any other pigment on there. I'm going to stick with the shade called Skinny Dip, this one here, and I'm going to use this one as a highlighter. Already there seems to be a lot coming off of my brush. Oh wow. I barely put that on my face and I just saw it coming through. Okay. Ooh. Keep building, keep building. Okay, don't know if you'll be able to see on camera 100%, but it's pretty blinding. I like it. That's some good highlight. So I'm just going to continue on the other side. I'll do my nose, cupid's bow, chin, a little bit up above my brows and on my temples. Just the usual highlight spots, but so far this is looking like a good highlight. I wasn't actually expecting this to be as good as it is. I just thought, oh yeah, I'm sure it'll be a pretty nice highlight, but This is actually blinding. I'm actually so impressed with this highlighter. I don't know if the camera will do it justice, but I'm so impressed. Overall, I'm really impressed with this palette. I do think £15 is a lot of money, so you might be a bit reluctant to buy this, but I would totally recommend it. I think it's really good. Obviously, I've not tried every single shade, but from the looks of it, I imagine that they're of similar quality. I'm just going to blend this highlight a little bit. The foundation lips have gone. So I'm going to do my eyebrows next. They did come out with a brow pomade as part of the new releases, but I don't really use pomades that often, and I don't really want to like buy things if I don't use them just because they're new or whatever. So I will just go off camera and do something with my brows. BRB. Okay, so I'm just going to finish off my eyeshadow, do some stuff underneath. I think I'll go in with the same red colour I used earlier. This is Rebound, the dark red here. I'm just going to get my fluffy brush and place some of this under my lower lash line. So I'm going to go in with the black shade called Blackmail again, this one here, and I'm just going to use this little flat brush and kind of press that more near my lash line area. I think I'm going to get this light pink glimmery shade called MILF, this one here, and I'm just going to pop a little bit this into the inner corners of my eyes, just cause why not? That's our eyeshadow done. I'm feeling it. It's a bit crazy, not the best blending, but good eyeshadows. I'm just going to do my mascara on my bottom lashes, BRB. And I need to change my memory card. Last thing I've got to try is a lip kit. This is the Matte Naked Lip Kit, lip liner and liquid lipstick in the shade Striptease. I went for a kind of nudie pink colour. So obviously they come with a lipstick and a lip liner. That's what they look like here. I'd say that the lip liner is actually quite a bit darker than the lipstick, but that's what it looks like there. It's just a nice kind of nudie pink colour. Ignore the eyebrow splodges. And that's what the lipstick colour looks like. It's a little bit lighter than the lip liner, but it's just a very fresh pinky colour. I have a little bit of a strange applicator. It's like a doe foot, but it's like been cut off. It's not the best applicator in my opinion. I wish it was just like a standard doe foot. I'm just going to go ahead and use it. So I'll start with the lip liner. Okay, so I like the colour and it's pretty pigmented. It is a little bit dry, but then also my lips are really dry, so it's hard to tell what's my dry lips and what's the lip liner. But it is a little bit on the drying side, but it's also a little bit sticky. Like it feels a bit sticky. Weird. But, I mean, the results are pretty good. I mean, that's nice. It's definitely a much deeper colour than I expected. I mean, it's just very deep nudie. I don't know. Anyway, let's go on with this lipstick on top with the dodgy applicator. Why are my lips so incredibly dry today? Okay, so that's what it's turned out as. I don't know if this is going to dry. It feels like it's probably going to dry, but I'll let that do its thing for a while. I actually really like the colour. It's a lot deeper than I expected, but it is just a nice kind of deep nudie pink colour. It's super pretty. I like it. My lips do feel a bit dry, but I think they were dry before anyway, so I'm not going to blame the lip products too much for that. But not a bad lip product at all. I quite like it. So that's everything tried. I'm just going to clean it up a little bit and I'll give you my final opinions as always. Okay, so this is the finished look. I'm pretty happy with it overall. I have some pretty good products here. I'll just run you through all of them again. Eyeshadow palette, I 100% recommend. I mean, look how much pigmentation there is going on here. This is great. It is a bit expensive. £15 is a lot of money, but Considering you get all of these shades, like there's so much there to work and play around with, and the colours themselves are beautiful, I do think that it's worth that money, and I think the quality of them is really good. Like, there was nothing here that wasn't pigmented and that didn't blend, so I mean, it's a pretty good palette. I know that I'm going to get a lot of use out of this. I definitely do a one palette free looks video with this at some point. I've got a lot of palettes I want to do that with at the moment. Too many palettes and not enough time. 100% recommend this. It's also got gorgeous packaging. Love it. Super impressed. I'm really impressed with all of the concealers. Obviously I need to try them out with different base products, but I think that all of these worked really well. They blended super nicely, they had a good coverage. I'm just really happy. The shades worked really well for me. Yeah, I super recommend these ones. They're also really cheap. The whitening drops worked pretty well, but again, I just need to try them out with some different products, see how good they are. I don't think they're quite as pigmented as my LA Girl ones, but they're still pretty good. Thing that I'm a little bit disappointed with, but I'm not 100% giving up on it, is the pressed powder. I do think it looked a little bit textured at the end, but then I also did put quite a lot on, so I don't know. I mean, it doesn't look that bad actually, but I mean, I think I'll need to play around with this a bit more, try different techniques of applying it. So I'm not giving up, but it's the only thing that I kind of saw negatives with. That this little bronzer worked really well. It's a good shade for me, it doesn't look too orangey, it's very pigmented, so you got to be a little bit light-handed with it, but it blends out perfectly fine. So really like this. I think I'll reach for this quite a bit. This one here, again, I absolutely love this. Super recommend checking this out. Again, £15, a bit expensive, but I think it's worth it. It's just, I can't even explain to you. It's just great. My cheap products turned out amazing. The highlighter, blinding, love it. I am going to use this a lot. This is going to be a new staple for me. So happy that I found this, so definitely recommend trying this one. Give it a go. Lipstick is starting to dry down now, which is great. I don't like things to be too glossy and like they slip off. I don't think it would be 100% transfer proof, but actually it's not really transferring. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, I really like the colour of this. It's a little bit darker than what it looks like here, so just be wary of that. But I think that it's a pretty good lip product. It looks super nice. It's super opaque, super pigmented, a little bit dry, but again, I also had really dry lips at the start of this, so I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with everything I tried. The only thing I really had issues with was the powder, but again, that may just be down to the way that I applied it. Well, I'm super happy here. I think I found some new favourites, so definitely do recommend trying out Makeup Obsession's new products. Previously, I had tried a few of their products. I actually have one of their little palettes here. So I had 3 of their highlighters. Oh god! I had 3 of their highlighters. I had this kind of goldy one here, this lilac-y one called Moon here, and then this one here, which is more of a subtle highlighter, and I really liked those. I've also got a blush, a little contour shade, and a setting powder, and a cream contouring kind of light shade. So I've really liked these, so I think overall Makeup Obsession is doing pretty well in the makeup department. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope maybe it's made you want to try out some of these products, because I'm really happy with them. So thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in my next one. Bye!